Welcome everybody back to Friar Talk. Finally back on a live stream. Obviously, we had some videos in the last couple days, but figured we'd go live, talk about the deadline. We were gonna go Sunday night. Chase and Isaac, they had some reality TV to watch, so we ended up
Hey,
pushing
bro. Goated.
So we ended up pushing it back a little bit. Going live now, and also I feel like it makes more sense too. You had the All-Star break. You know, there was a game on Sunday. Maybe we could have squeezed it in, but now we get to talk about the home run derby. We get to talk about the All-Star break, the All-Star game. We get to talk about ABS. We get to talk about also, dude, the absolute sick way to end an extra innings game that I think was honestly awesome. Now, what they should have done is they should have put like Shohei and Judge and all those guys in the home run derby. But it was a really, really cool idea.
Cool.
Was it Justin Turner, the one that tweeted out like 5-6 years ago? Was it him? I know it was like an older vet guy. I don't know if you saw this. He tweeted out like, "Man, we need to do it like after the 11th inning. We need to have like a home run derby to end the game as they go past."
That's how it should be. Like to
Was
this
it him?
day, I don't know. Honestly, like extra innings has been a thing obviously for a long time, but it is a really cool concept and it probably brings more eyes. I was gonna say you could have had like maybe a little bit of bias here, but it could have been Shohei Ohtani, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Ronald Acuna Jr. versus Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, and I can't think of a name off the top of my head, but you guys get the gist.
Bobby Witt. I know he's
Bobby
not.
Witt's a cool one, yeah.
He's not a power hitter, but I still think that'd be sick.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. But I mean, either way. Oh, also, I feel like you gotta have Schwarber in there. I think you gotta put Schwarber over.
Dude, I know, crazy, bro.
Dude, also, I gotta say, when Schwarber was a free agent, we were like, dude, please sign Schwarber. I don't care if this guy puts up 1 WAR a season. He is a fucking beast. And what do you know? Like, I know this is just a home run derby or whatever, but the dude puts up 40 bombs a year, has a 500 slugging, gets on base like almost 400, like at a 400 clip.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. He's going to be a free agent this year. I saw a lot of Padres fans talking about bringing him in. I'm still down, man. I am still down because he's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, dude, we finally got it. We get to talk about the trade deadline a little bit here. As I think the trade deadline goes out, we don't really have a plan for how we want to do stuff, but I think whenever there's like a rumor or anything, we're going to discuss it. We're going to have fun with it. I don't know if we're going to be doing streams or if we're doing videos. I feel like we'll just kind of see how it plays out throughout this month. But what is it right now? Today's the evening of July 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Trade deadline's what, 31st? We got a little over 2 weeks, right? It'll be. We don't got that long, but another week or so, the rumors will start to heat up a little bit, and then boom, we'll have all the trades coming through, all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited, man. I think we talked very, very quick, maybe for 2 minutes before we hopped on and actually started this live stream. So Isaac, you said something that interested me. You said you think, I want to get right into it. You said that you think that this trade deadline that Preller's going to swing for the fences a little bit. So I want to hear what your overall thought process is on what this deadline is going to look like, and then I'll kind of share mine, and then we'll start going through some questions. I tweeted out just kind of like a general what do you guys like? What are your predictions kind of for the deadline? So I'll get into that later as well. But I want to know. You said you think they're going to swing for it, so I want to hear what you think.
Yeah. Well, look, let's go based off the history of AJ Preller, right? The history of AJ Preller shows he doesn't like taking, the word I'm looking for. He doesn't like taking small risks. He doesn't like doing little moves. He wants to make the splash. He always wants to be the splash, whether it be of the offseason or the deadline. We've seen that a lot lately. We saw in 2021, it was at the time a splash, Adam Frazier, who was an all-star. 2020, it was Mike Clevenger. 2022, obviously Juan Soto. 2023 being the outlier, like Jaron said, it was G-Man Choi, Rich Hill. It just didn't work out. And I'm sure that probably scarred AJ Preller a little bit. And now you look at this deadline. Even before the deadline, the Padres traded for Luis Ariz, who was a 2-time batting champion at the time. They traded for Dylan Cease at the deadline. They traded for Tanner Scott. They got Brian Hoeing. They made good moves at the deadline that were very helpful. And I think AJ Preller is looking at it now and saying, hey, and this is what I completely agree with. We're probably headed for a lockout next year. This is probably in 2 years, whatever. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we're probably headed for a lockout soon. But also, it's a weird time because AJ Preller knows his contract's up in 2 years as well. It's fair to say, like, hey, while he has control of the team, A, he needs to earn his contract, but B, why would he care for the Padres past 2 years if he might not even be here in 2 years? The goal is to win now. The goal for him is to win now and get a contract extension. The only way to get a contract extension is to show that the Padres can win and that you can manage the Padres successfully. And, you know, you look at the reports, I don't think there's been a single smoke screen where it's been like AJ Preller is going to aim for this guy. And the guy's like, he's like, whatever, you know. The only one I've seen is a guy from the White Sox, and I forgot his name. But Dennis Lin said that he also expects AJ Preller to aim high. He said in his article with the Athletic that he expects AJ Preller to aim high, and the moves in the past absolutely show that. Now, the way you can do that, of course, everyone is talking about Jarren Duran. That's going to be the main piece that apparently AJ Preller is going to be going for. That's the one that everyone's been talking about. That's the one that everyone has been linked. He's been linked to us heavily. Honestly, you know, on this, among us, we talk about how much smoke screens the Padres have put up, and it almost never happens. But this one seems like it's too much. Like, it's too much for it to not at least be a conversation that AJ Preller is having. Now, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, Matt. Now, the problem is the Red Sox just busted off a 10-game win streak. Crazy. And now they're only like 3.5 games back of their division. But I'm pretty sure they're in the midst of a wild card. Like, they're in the wild card right now. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the standings, but they're right there. If not, they are already. So
yeah, they're a game behind the Yankees. That's it. And the Blue Jays are in first place, but they're all super close.
Exactly. And the main thing, guys, this happened after trading Rafael Devers. I'm sure they didn't expect this. It helps a lot when there's not a cancer. I don't want to say Rafael Devers is a cancer, but it helps. But Jarren Duran's been a big part of that. Go look at his numbers over the past however many weeks it is. He's been really good, dude. He's been a really, really good player for the Red Sox, especially at the plate. So right now it's kind of hard. It's getting harder and harder for me to say, like, all right, Jarren Duran's for sure on the block. Now, what helps is the Red Sox already have a lot of outfielders. Masataka Yoshida, they got Roman Anthony, they got Wilyer Abreu, and they got, who am I missing, Matt? I don't know who I'm missing.
What's his name? Rafaela?
Oh, yes, Rafaela. Sedano Rafaela.
And he's a beast lately. He's the same. He's on the same hot streak, like kind of like last, like, I don't know, like a month, 3 to 4 weeks roughly that Duran's been on.
He's one of the top 25, 30 players in WAR right now, in F4. He's been a stud. So they do have a surplus of it. And honestly, look, guys, we posted about we posted about a trade for Adley Rutschman, right? A lot of people didn't like it. Look, I understand why, because you're like, no, that's too much. If you're going to get something good, you're going to give something good. That's just how it goes. If you're going to trade for Juan Soto, yeah, you better believe you're going to trade James Wood, CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore. It's just what happens. Like, you're not going to give shitty pieces to your player back. We're just lucky that the Marlins are horrible at evaluating. We're lucky that the White Sox are horrible at evaluating. That just went our way. Maybe the Orioles are the same way. But we don't have a lot of pieces in the minor, and apparently they're underrated, so I could be wrong. We don't have a lot of pieces in the minor leagues that look very appealing. That's just my opinion. I hope I'm not frozen. Matt, I'm good, right? Okay. So there's a lot of pieces in the minor leagues that they're not really top 100 prospects. I don't know how close they are. They don't look very intriguing. Now, managers say they are underrated, so we don't know. But there's a lot to discuss as far as what the Padres have to give. Now, Dennis Lin, this came as a surprise to me. Dennis Lin said that the Padres want to add to the bullpen. I was surprised because the Padres have a top-tier bullpen, but they are really taxed. They've pitched a lot. So I understand. But I want to let you talk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. I like it. Okay, I want to talk about Duran first because I saw like a bunch of comments up here at the top. Let me kind of swing back here.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm trying to find it. But basically, as I kind of go and find this stuff, my overall thought with Duran is that, one, the Red Sox already made their trade. You guys have watched the kind of like the comeback? I think that's what it's called on Netflix. You watched that, right? I feel like we talked about this before, or we texted
Yeah,
about it.
the one about the current Red Sox team. The comeback is about the 2004 Red Sox team. I forgot what this one was called, but I know what you're talking about.
No, the one I'm talking about is the one from back in the day, like 2004.
Oh, you're talking about that one. Okay, yeah. Phenomenal, by the way. Go watch it.
What did they do? They traded
away Nomar Garciaparra,
right? That was a huge deal. Obviously, very controversial at the time, and it was a weird trade, man. Like, you actually look at like what they're getting, kind of similar, right? Like, it's kind of similar. It almost feels like a salary dump where they're like, all right, we don't really believe in this guy, blah 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 blah. We're gonna trade him away. And at the time, Nomar Garciaparra was one of the best players in the league. I mean, he was legit. He left, and I want to say he only really had one good year after they traded him away. And they won the championship, of course, famously in that year. But it kind of feels like that's like the move that they just did. And different. I want to say it's different ownership, obviously different GM. So many things have changed since back then. But it does feel like, franchise-wise, like it feels a little bit similar. They get all hot. The Giants fall apart. Devers has like a 630 OPS or something terrible right now in San Francisco, which I'm sorry, guys, that kind of makes sense. Look at the Giants ballpark. Look at the Padres ballpark. Look what happens when you go there. Like, it's a lot tougher to hit.
Happened Juan Soto.
Yeah, exactly. Juan Soto, exactly. Now, when I think about Duran, I don't think that it's like a for sure thing that they're going to move him. I think obviously they have a surplus of outfielders, but they're navigating it pretty good right now. It's working. They're winning. They just traded a guy. They got all this money off the books. They don't have to trade him. They can trade him at the end of the year. They're going to get roughly the same amount, right? Like, especially if he plays well. Because as of like a month ago, I want to say his OPS was right around 700. It was not good. He was having a bad year. At this point, it's coming back. He's having an above average year. But the year before, he was so much better. So if he gets hot, he could really increase his value. They might not really think it's worth trading for him. So I saw a lot of people kind of talking about him. I see Devin said AJ is determined to get his guy Duran, right? Who else said it? Mills right here said AJ he's not getting Duran. Devin again, I don't love the idea of trading Duran. He's not the solution for our problem. Catcher's the most important thing missing. 100% agree. And I would say this. If the Padres are going to do anything, it's to add a catcher, right? That's the number one thing. We've already discussed this. We talked about this before. However, if they're going to go and get Duran, like, they're going to have to give up a lot. I don't think that makes sense. Duran's a great player, but he's not really what the Padres need. He's really not. And also, I don't think he's like a smokescreen. Isaac, I think you said that. I don't think he's a smokescreen by any means.
Either. Not anymore.
But they just won 10 games. They don't really have to trade him. They can hang on to him. There's not really a rush. He's not like making a lot of money. It's like, if we sell now, we can get all this stuff for him, which kind of feels like is why they traded Devers. But the Padres also are looking at it. You're like, okay, well, you just got Gavin Sheets. You're moving him, like, you didn't just get him, but you just moved him to left field, right? Catcher and a platoon and 2 platoon bats is what you need. It doesn't have to be a left fielder. Gavin Sheets has played average defense in left field. The left field is the easiest position to play, probably outside of first base if you're at Petco. Why are you going after Duran? Doesn't mean that the Padres did not inquire about him. Doesn't mean that there's not other guys on the Red Sox that the Padres might go after. But I think the one telling that we're getting from that is that AJ Preller is going to go all in.
Yeah.
And my question for everyone is, why in the world would we think differently? He's always trying to do this. Even last year, you talk about the trade deadline. Even last year, okay, let's look at the Padres. You traded for a lot last year. You traded away one in the offseason. You traded away Juan Soto. You get Michael King. You get all this stuff. You move all this stuff around. You don't sign like really anyone, right? Then you trade for the batting champion Luis Arraez. You trade for Dylan Cease, who was who finished second in Cy Young voting. I want to say a year before that, right? So in 23, 23. And then at the deadline, you go and you get the two best relievers on the market. You go and you get Tanner Scott and Jason Adam.
Mm-hmm.
How is that not swinging for the fences? Like that 100% is. And the years where he's been burned more than not are when he doesn't go and make the bold moves. Like, seriously.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't, and that's not to say, like, okay, I'll be one to say right now before we get into it, and we don't have to get in this whole discussion. I think some people will hate this take. I think the Juan Soto was a bad move. I think it was a bad move. I'm sorry. It didn't work. Maybe Fernando comes back, you win the World Series, and I don't feel that way. But guess what? That's not what happened. They lost. They didn't win the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I watched James Wood, and I go, God damn, man, this dude is nice, bro. CJ Abrams, he's nice. Mackenzie Gore, he's nice. It hurts, right? But I get why they did it.
Yep.
In that year, it was worth it.
Yep.
And so for all the years that he goes and makes the big swings, a certain someone, Adam Frazier, was traded earlier today. That was the worst.
Where'd he go?
That was the worst move. That was the biggest fail of a deadline that we've ever seen because it was different from 23. 23 I could get not really buying. They weren't even in a good spot, and they got hot, and they still didn't make the playoffs. In 21, they didn't. It wasn't like, oh, yeah, they didn't get hot. It was they fell apart.
Yep.
They didn't go and trade for pitching because they missed on Max Scherzer. So I think that what this tells us is that AJ is going in for the deadline. He's going in. He's going to try to get some good players. I don't think that's Jarren Duran, but I think that we know what his mindset is, and I think that's even probably more important, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Preller always swings for the fences. You're right. He's been burned when he doesn't. I mean, your take on 2023 is spot on. The Padres were out of a playoff spot. Their offense was horrible. The runners in scoring position. You were having down years from Fernando, Manny, and Xander, all simultaneously. Your pitching was phenomenal, but your offense just wasn't coming around. You were honestly, had they not swept the Rangers prior to the deadline, you're probably looking at a different scenario. But because they did, they bought somewhat. It wasn't an aggressive buy. It was like, let's try and fill the holes and hope that our studs come around. And it didn't work out. Yeah, they got hot. They missed it by however many games, and it didn't work out. 2021 was just a disaster. Horrible, right? Because we had Max Scherzer. We had him. Ken Rosenthal said we had him. Still don't forgive that little... Well, we had him. And then to top it all off, our rivals got not only him, but one of the best shortstops in baseball at the time, Trey Turner. Probably swings for the fences, man. And look, last year, it was like, all right, I got a problem with my bullpen. Matsui's not doing good. What was the guy? He was a righty. De Los Santos? Was that him? He wasn't doing good.
Yeah.
Our bullpen was struggling. And he said, oh, hey, Tanner Scott's on the market. Brian Hoeing's pretty good out of the bullpen. Okay, I'll get both. Oh, Jason Adam, stud. Numbers look good. Closer. I'll get him too. He doesn't just patch them with little fixes. He goes all out when he fixes it. He makes sure this isn't going to be a problem. I expect him to do that now. Look, the reason Adley makes so much sense, Preller's going to have to get creative, right? The Padres might have to look at a scenario where you're saying, you know what? Rivals are saying, some people say our prospects are underrated. Some people say we only have DeVries, Salas, and Nick. I would throw the lefty in there. Why can't I think of any names right now? Cash Mayfield. I would throw the lefty in there. But those are the rumors right now, right? And I definitely think that the Padres have more. I know AJ is a phenomenal evaluator when it comes to building the farm system. He does it time and time again, and that's how he pulls off these crazy trades, right? But he might have to get creative. This is why we included Estrada in the trade, guys. It's not like we want to trade him. That is not what we want to do. He's a stud. He is really good, right? Honestly, could make an argument. He could have been an all-star. He's pitched great. He has, I believe, the second most, if not third most pitching appearances in the MLB. And this is where trading for a bullpen arm starting to make a little bit of sense, even though I don't like the idea of it, because you should use your resources on the bigger needs. What's up, Ace? So you should use your resources on bigger needs, right? You have to realize Robert Suarez is at 43 appearances, amongst the most in the MLB. Estrada's at 46. Morahone and Adam are both at 47. There's one pitcher in the MLB that is ahead of them, and it's I don't know if it's Taylor or Tyler Rogers from the Giants. It's one of them. So yeah, the four horsemen of our bullpen is pretty overworked. And that's where, okay, sure, you can go after a bullpen arm. It makes sense. You want to have your bullpen somewhat fresh going into the playoffs. But this is where a trade with the Orioles makes so much sense, because if Adley Rutschman is on the block, you can go get Adley Rutschman and Ramon Laureano in the same package deal.
Dude, forget Laureano. Dude, forget all these guys. Go get O'Hearn and Adley in one.
Oh my god,
that would be insane. And look, okay, so I see a lot of comments and stuff. I want to talk about Adley. I want to talk about Adley really bad because I feel like he's okay. I don't know what everyone thinks about Adley. Right.
Seems like a lot of people are conflicted.
So, okay, let's go back, right? Let's go back to last year. Let's talk about Adley Rutschman before we get into all the other stuff, because I find it very interesting what you're talking about, the bullpen. And I have a take that's a little bit interesting with it, just because they are overworked, and there's a reason they're overworked. I gotta tell you right now, it's the offense sucks, bro.
Fucking say it. Yeah, say it.
Because they can't get a big lead, bro. It's impossible. It's like they win a game, it's 3-2, it's 2-1, it's 4-3. That's how they win games. They don't win games of multiple runs. So anytime they have a lead, they can't. Like last year, you remember towards the end of the year, you throw in Brian Hoeing, right? And he would go and pitch like 3 innings. And this doesn't happen every single time, or 2 innings or whatever. You go and you throw Yuki Matsui, right? You go throw in guys for a couple innings. You don't really have to worry about it. You're up like 5 runs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. You're winning 1-run games, 2-run games, or you're in a close game where you still have to throw your good arms because you have a chance to win still, right? And you're in a playoff mix.
Mm-hmm.
You go and get Adley Rutschman. He is by far, I think, if Ronald Acuna Jr. is available, all right, no shit, man. Ronald Acuna is the best player available. One, the Padres can't trade for him. Like, they can't trade for him. But Chapman, they can't trade for him. But if it's not him, it's Adley, right? The most talented player available is Adley Rutschman.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and you look at Adley Rutschman's last year, he had a 780 OPS at the All-Star break. A lot of people don't realize this. He was good. If you remember what happened to the Orioles, they kind of fell apart, and I don't think they won a playoff game last year. I think the year before they won 1 and they lost in 3, if I remember right. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But last year, it kind of got ugly, and they just kind of fell apart. They weren't that good. It was like, okay, well, that kind of sucked. They were supposed to have this youth movement. And I think a lot of that maybe was just like they brought up Jackson Holiday, and he wasn't good. So I think maybe that's what I attribute it to as well. But Adley Rutschman had a 780 OPS at the All-Star break. His second half, he had a 580 OPS. He sucked. He's terrible. He's terrible. There's no other way to put it around. Like, there's no other way to describe it. Then this year, he comes out. He's been on the IL twice this year. He's on it right now. This was the second time. But in July, started tearing the cover off the baseball again. Right? He's fine. He's a great catcher. I do think, and I guess I use him when I want, right? I use him like if I'm talking about Martin Maldonado, I'll say, oh man, this guy sucks. You look at his face. His numbers are terrible. For Adley Rutschman, I'm like, forget him. Don't worry about those. Those are fake numbers. They don't even matter. All right. Adley Rutschman is a good catcher, okay? That's how I feel. Adley Rutschman is a good catcher. He had a couple whatever years. He's had some super elite defensive years. He's a good player. He's a very, very good player. He's one of those guys that's like you really want him on your team. Yep. He has multiple years of control. If we're going to go and buy low on a guy, and it's going to be at the not even close, dude, far and away the biggest position of need, and you're going to go and get a guy that was a number 1 overall pick because he's slumped for like 5 months, yeah, that's the guy you go and get. That's the guy I want AJ to go and get. Buy low. You want to talk about buying low? There's not a better guy to buy low on in the market. Now, I don't really think he's available. So I get everyone hyped up about it.
I agree.
But at the same time, I'm also saying that I think that going and trading for a catcher is the biggest need, dude. It 100% is. So I think it's the biggest thing we got to do right now.
Sorry, I'm replying to this Chargers jersey thing. Those jerseys are fire. It's hard to love the Chargers, but those jerseys are stupid cool. Yeah, going back to Adley. I feel like a lot of people get excited at the thought of trading for Luis Robert Jr., who is also a buy low pick.
But he's not that good.
But he's not that good, guys. Like, I think he's.
That would suck. Sorry, that'd be terrible. I don't think that's like
that. Honestly, a trade for Robert Jr., it doesn't do it for me. I'm not excited at the thought of it. And hey, he hits lefties well. I'll give him that. But look, if you can get, let's say you go and get, this is a pipe dream. Let's say you go and get Ozuna and Murphy. Pipe dream. Again, I'll admit that. But that is an example. Guys, Gavin Sheets, honestly, I could keep him in left field. This is what Dennis Lin said. He said this on Ben and Woods. He said, the Padres want a left fielder. They don't mind Gavin Sheets, but ideally they'd have Gavin Sheets at DH. So what if you get another DH? And you can just keep him out there. Is he good out there? Fuck no. Is he bad out there? Kinda. But he's getting better. Honestly, he's gotten so much better. But look, the thing is, if you go get Adley, and I included Ramon Laureano, but the main piece is Adley. If people are excited at the thought of buying Luis Robert Jr. low, you got to be excited at buying a former number one prospect, former number one pick, Adley Rutschman low, because honestly, it's a really, really fun thought, and it's something that should be talked about.
Sorry, I had to pull up.
No, yeah, and I mean
Robert Jr. Dude, you're telling me that AJ wants this guy? His whiff and K are 5 percentile.
Exactly.
Look, that's not his style. That's just really not his style.
Look, and the thing with left field, man, is look, defensively he's good. He's great. But the thing with left field is you need offensive production. You want offensive production from the catcher spot? Adley Rutschman is much better than Maldonado and Diaz. Of course, he doesn't give you 800 OPS production. You want good production, but he's a stud. If this guy doesn't give you production at the plate, it's a big nothing burger. Huge. If Adley Rutschman doesn't give you the production that we want from him, odds are it's better than Maldonado and Diaz, and he's a stud.
Dude, yeah, I agree with you. And let me pull Adley up real quick. And I'll pull up some other catchers too, because I think, okay, I guess as we kind of go through it, also, bro, come on, dude. This guy's going to be fine. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's got and look, the whole thing about him is like he doesn't barrel. He doesn't hit the ball hard. Oh, yeah? What about this? What about when he was top 10 in MVP voting this year? Top 10 MVP voting. Oh, look, he didn't barrel the ball well. He didn't hit the ball hard. Okay, cool. I don't care. I don't care at all. That's insane, dude. That's great. Look at the spray chart, dude. Like he's a good hitter. He's gonna be fine. Even last year, it's like he had a 700 OPS. Like this isn't even that bad of a year, dude. Like he had an average year. Like I mean, like it was not like the what I mean. It's not the best, but it's like really not that concerned about it. You start looking at it for catchers. It's like he's also he's in a bad organization. That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, he's elite defensively. Both of them are. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of the guys we're talking about for the Padres are elite defensively. The thing with trading for Luis Robert Jr. is that why not just trade for like 2 platoon bats that are just like they play first base and DH, and I don't understand like why that's not better. That's at least they hit 1-on-1. Okay, cool. Like Robert Jr. hits lefties good. He
What about
didn't.
righties?
He was terrible last year against them.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting like under 200 with like a 500 OPS this year against righties. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to throw him in left field, so you might as well just keep Gavin Sheets out there. Let
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Sheets be an everyday player. All right. Why not just go get 2 platoon guys? Once again, like they're cheaper probably, or they're going to be the same cost, and they're going to be more beneficial for the team, for the lineup. So I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
And let's be honest. If not for the name and if not for his past, you would easily look at Robert and say he's a platoon player. We put him in against lefties. And look, it's not. Look, the thing with this is if Robert doesn't work out, at least whatever it is, I say Robert, but I've been corrected before, so I don't know what to say.
Apparently it's Robert, dude. Because I always thought it was Robert too. And then if you listen to the broadcast, they say Robert.
Okay, that's fair. Luis Robert Jr., if you trade for him and he doesn't work out, then what? You can't go back to the trade deadline. You have to get guys that look, the upside's there, and I get that. The upside is there. I just disagree with it, man, because it hasn't just been 1 year that he hasn't been good. It's been like 2, maybe even close to 3. It's been a long time since he's been good. And you can look at that lineup and you can say no lineup protection, bad organization, whatever you want to say. But I think he's just the Rolls Royce of a platoon player.
Yeah, like he's not. And that's the thing. I want to see them add good players. That's kind of my overall thought. I see one comment: bring Profar back. You got to get a guy for the playoffs, right? Like 100%. He makes a bunch of money too. It doesn't make any sense. I want to talk about Sean Murphy a bunch. We already talked about him earlier, but I do want to talk about him because he's my number one. Well, Adley, I guess 1, Sean Murphy 2. It's not my money. You could make the case for Sean Murphy 1 because he's going to cost less.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to kind of get into like what people are kind of asking because I tweeted something out. And I basically, let's see what I said exactly. I said, what's your biggest take, hypothetical question, etc. regarding the Padres trade deadline? So let's just run through these. All right. I'm going to keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rapid fire through them. And then Isaac, you kind of backtrack for me. Okay. After I finish. All right. Who do you think they have ranked higher, Duran or Robert? What would they be willing to give up? Obviously, Duran is worth way more. I don't know what they'd be willing to give up. I think too much for Duran. That's what I'm worried about. In a weird sense, I think Cease leaves and Duran comes to town. That makes sense a little bit. And it could work out if that happens. It could work out, and it could work out in a trade where you see Cease go to the Red Sox. That would be something that would be very, very interesting. And that would be like, I mean, if the Red Sox did that, they would have back-to-back crazy blockbusters that I think if you had a Duran-Cease swap, that'd be wild. Suarez gone. I'm going to tell you right now, I think there's virtually zero chance they trade Robert Suarez, even though I don't think it – I think it makes sense to move him, but I don't think there's any chance that happens. This is a very interesting one that I saw Steve commented. Since the Padres are somehow only 5.5 games out, it makes sense to load up and go for it all. Will John Sider let Preller do whatever it takes? That is one that obviously
very good question.
We don't know, but that's a huge question to kind of start wondering about what this deadline could look like. Because if Preller's able to do whatever he takes, then all of a sudden guys like Duran and Adley and I think most importantly Sean Murphy, you can go do it. Because if John Sider's like do whatever it is, you have unlimited budget. Sean Murphy becomes so much more likely to be available, and you keep guys like Robert Suarez and Dylan Cease on the payroll. So that's what I think is super interesting. We'll keep going. I think we'll come back to that one. My biggest hypothetical is getting Sandy Alcantara and Ruben fixing him. I mean, dude, we thought Sandy Alcantara would be a good trade fit this offseason. Thank God they didn't do that. That was a bad take, all right? I'll own up on that one. But it made sense at the time. Off-speed looks kind of cooked. He's been a little bit better, though. At least I'll give him that. If they'll do anything, I would be super shocked if they do nothing. Sean Murphy talked about that. Both Suarez and Cease being dealt. Oh, I like this one. Both Cease and Suarez will be dealt, yet the Padres will get better.
That's a good one.
That could happen. like I said, I don't think Suarez will, but I think Cease getting dealt and the Padres getting better is kind of the best hypothetical for us, right? Um, I saw this one as well. Everyone is focused on catchers and left fielders. I believe the Padres have a huge pitching problem. I'll be honest, I disagree. We don't know if King will be available. He just pitched the bullpen. I think he's going to be all right. The Padres are not going to cut it with Wandy and Matsui. I think it's fine. I'm not too worried about the bullpen, to be honest. But they could add a lefty. As a Bostonian who lives in San Diego for 15 years, I think a trade between the Sox and Padres makes way too much sense to not happen. I agree. No idea what the final deal looks like or if 13 is roped in, but Duran to San Diego will likely happen. I also think that something about Duran is like it might not happen this year, but it could also happen like next year or in the offseason or whatever. I could still see that happening. I don't think it's a lock to happen though. Hot take, they don't do shit. Like I said, it's a hot take. All right. Trading for young controllable talent to help now. Mets catcher Alvarez playing at AAA due to lack of playing time. Sending Salas and a young reliever to the Mets, hopefully allowing Padres to send on a right fielder. Maybe he's a guy you could go get. I mean, I don't actually hate that. I never really thought about him being a potential target, but that would be an interesting person. Francisco's his first name, right? He's been
Francisco Alvarez.
He once again, still an upgrade, but also
honestly,
Campusano in theory.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go through them real quick. Starting from the top, who do they have ranked higher, Duran or Robert, and what would they be willing to give up? I think it's from what we've seen, from what we've heard, Duran's probably ranked much, much higher on the bulletin board for AJ Preller. He will cost more, but if I had to pick between the two, even if it costs more, I would pick Duran. Just not very enamored by Luis Robert Jr. Suarez gone, like Matt said, don't see that happening. If the Padres need to get really creative and try and get some money off the books to go get somebody else, then I could see it happening. But at the same time, the Padres, despite his struggles last year and at points this year, they've really stuck to their guns with Robert Suarez as their closer. In a weird sense, I think Cease leaves and Duran comes to town. Cease leaving, it's not out of the realm. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, right? It could happen. If the Padres feel like they can go get another pitcher to fill those innings, because the Padres, the thing with Dylan Cease is you're not saying, hey, we hope he's fine. You're saying at least he's taking innings. At least he's filling in some innings. That's what you want right now from Dylan Cease. I don't see it happening, but that's not saying I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I would be glad if it happened, if they have a backup plan to get another pitcher. Since the Padres are somehow only 5.5 games out, it makes sense to load up and go for it all. Will John Seidler let Preller do whatever it takes? And I love this question because this is John Seidler's first trade deadline with the Padres.
I think maybe we pop this one for a second too. After you get into it, I think this one's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's his first deadline with the Padres, so we'll get into it right now. My biggest hypothetical is getting Sandy Alcantara and Ruben Niebla, fixing him. Don't see it happening. If that's the way the Padres want to go after trading Dylan Cease, sure. But trading shit for shit doesn't feel too good to me, if I'm being completely honest. I do think Ruben Niebla can fix him. I think the Padres are in a position, though. Dude, if you're talking about a place to go for pitchers, and you're still talking about the Dodgers as a primary place to go, you're wrong. Pitchers should come to San Diego. 100%, no doubt in my mind, with Ruben Niebla, with what he's done with some of these guys, pitchers should say, I want to go to San Diego. If they will do anything, that's the question. Having no doubts in my mind, they'll do something. I think Preller is going to be very aggressive. If we're even going to get Sean Murphy or a catcher, I think catcher is probably, honestly, it's on the top of my wish list. Don't know about AJ Preller, but I want a catcher more than anything. Both Cease and Suarez will be dealt, yet the Padres will be better. Honestly, yeah, if those two got dealt, I wouldn't doubt the Padres would be better. Nonetheless, they would still have to somehow find a way to add at the trade deadline to fill those innings, though. Everyone is focused on catchers and left fielders. I believe Pads have a huge pitching problem. We don't know if King will be available. That's true. It's true. We don't know if King will be available. I'm not concerned about the pitching. It's true, though. You're right. We don't know if King will be available. Somehow this went from I slept on my shoulder wrong to now I'm going to be out for however long I'm going to be out for. I don't know how.
Come on. He pitched the bullpen, all right?
Dude, yeah. And I'm just so confused because I'm like, dude, you slept on your shoulder wrong. What could have.
Well, it's definitely okay. I think that part we know is like, yeah, the dude was jacked up, like 100%.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I do think the fact that he's pitched, they've talked about it a little bit. I think people thought Darvish was going to be out even longer. After he missed a little bit, it was like, oh, he's going to be out so much longer. He's already back. He's settling in and stuff. But I'm not too worried about King. Now, here's what I'm worried about. All right, and maybe we paused the questions real quick because who was it? I think it was Ace asked, do we think that King's going to get re-signed? That's the question with him, dude. He's been hurt a lot. He can't pitch that
in his career, yeah.
And he's so good. He's so good. It might not be worth it. And I think maybe that's the bigger question than even this year, or even like him returning this year is like he could get hurt again. He gets hurt all the time. He's had Tommy John. He has a lot of injury issues. Is he a guy that you want to throw a bunch of money at? Maybe the market recognizes that and he's a little bit cheaper because of this injury, because of the past injuries. But I think he's going to be back. I just don't know, like, what does his longevity look like, right? That's my big question with him.
Yeah. Well, also, the way the current standard of pitching is like 2 Tommy Johns is like standard now. 2 Tommy Johns is standard, getting as much spin as you can on the slider, whatever it is, your sweeper. It's like standard now. So I'm always going to be hesitant to sign a pitcher to a long-term deal because I think it's scary. The odds of the pitcher having a surgery and being out for a long time, for a year, is kind of high. I mean, look at Joe. I mean, this isn't to diss Joe Musgrove, but it happened with Joe Musgrove. Got a big deal. At the time, a big deal. Honestly, for the production that he usually gives, it's a bargain. But yeah, I mean, he got hurt. Darvish is starting to get hurt. Darvish got hurt last year too. Darvish is starting to kind of get hurt. Michael King's hurt. Pitchers are starting to kind of break down, man. It's starting to become a rare thing to see a pitcher pitch a full season. So I'm always going to be hesitant to give Michael King an extension. That's not saying he's not worth an extension. The stuff, his ERA, his production, how good I think he is, all of that tells me this guy's worthy, right? He's a stud. But it does scare me a little bit. So yeah, and my, the good thing, going back to what was said about we don't know if he'll be available. Michael King himself has said he feels good. It's just taking a little while. I'm pretty confident he'll be back. Now, as far as the pitching problem, I disagree. I think the Padres are in a great spot bullpen wise. The only thing I might agree with you with is that they're taxed. And I don't want them taxed going into the postseason. So maybe adding an arm to kind of fill some innings would be great.
Yeah, and I think
go ahead.
Too. Like, you don't got to have like a true like high like leverage reliever, but a guy that can eat up some innings a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need. A guy that can help fill some innings. You also have like Sean Reynolds, Eduardo Nunez down there in the minors. You got guys in the minors that can help too. So there's definitely some options. And you also have Brian Hoeing hopefully ramping up to be able to pitch 2-3 innings at a time. Yeah,
that was huge last year towards the end of the year, I feel like.
I feel like
it kind of gets forgotten about,
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's been huge for the Padres for a little while now, right? You had at one point Nabil Crismatt, you had Nick Martinez, you had Brian Hoeing last year. It's a huge deal to have those kind of guys. So I think they're very valuable.
I don't know why I can't think of this guy's name. This is bad. What's the dude that gave up 4 home runs in a row?
Craig, do not get me started, bro.
Craig Stammen.
Not get me started, bro. Craig Stammen.
They had him back in the day, bro. He was doing a great job.
God.
Oh my God. I'm happy I forgot his name. I'm sorry to that guy. I mean, I hope he's living a great life and everything.
Me too.
But man, that was rough. I remember watching that game in my dorm, and we were like, another one? Another one? Oh God.
I know.
Wait, another one?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, no way, bro. Like, nah, he won't do it again. After the second one, I was like, there's no way. Like, after the third one, I was like, okay, there's really no way. What's going on?
I was just keep going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so also just worth mentioning, after his year in 22, which that year was, I think that was 2019 when that happened.
It was, yeah.
But that was his last year in MLB. He never pitched again in MLB after that. But he
2022,
would need
right?
innings. He needed some innings, seriously.
Yeah, he did. No, he did. And he was on the team that went to the NLCS. I remember that.
Yeah.
So last three right here.
Oh my God, look at this. You see this?
Yeah. I actually knew that.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's still in the front office.
Oh, yeah. All right. No disrespect, all right? I didn't mean it. All right. I'm sorry.
Honestly, like when he started games, a stud, but when he had to come in to pitch one inning, I'd rather have a lot of other people on the mound.
Did he pitch? Was it him that opened the game in 2020 in Game 3? It was him that opened, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember that game. I mean, obviously the Padres won that game. It was a good game. But I remember Morahone came into that game and was a monster. That's what I remember.
Dude, yeah. Uh-huh.
But Sammy pitched like an inning or two, right? And he
held it down, bro. He was good.
He held it down.
Was good. I will say it. Stammen, when he started the game for a bullpen game, kind of a stud. I was surprised.
You just don't want him in high leverage. That was the thing.
Exactly. That was the problem. Is this guy should do 2 or 3 innings if we're getting our ass kicked, if we really need an opener.
And I didn't mind it when he did that either, to be honest.
No, I mean, yeah.
Also, do you see Chase is out here catching strays in the chat? You see this?
Yeah, about his Wi-Fi.
Look at this one. This one's good. This one's good.
Yeah, dude. Chase is
floating in.
This guy's moved more than anyone I've ever met. So hopefully he invests in some Wi-Fi here coming up soon. Hopefully this move is a good thing as far as his Wi-Fi goes. Last few. Actually, I only want to cover this last one because as far as like the hot take, they don't do shit. I heavily disagree. And Alvarez, I don't really want to give too much attention to that. Nothing against your comments. Please keep commenting. Please keep sharing your ideas.
It's just that it's not that realistic because they're contending.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So this one says, as a Bostonian who has lived in San Diego for 15 years, I think a trade between the Sox and the Padres makes too much sense. No idea what the final deal looks like or if a third team is roped in, but Duran to San Diego likely happens. And hey, I don't disagree. I don't think Duran fixes everything because against lefties, he's still not that good. But I'd be happy to get Jarren Duran. I really like Jarren Duran. He's a great player. From California. I like him. So I would be happy with the move. It's just I think there's other players that can help the Padres more. Nonetheless, would be ecstatic to have Duran. But yeah.
Then the other thing I also saw a lot of in our chat was that a lot of people are talking about trading for Higgy. I think there's better options. Like, once again, he was great last year. He came in clutch. He was good in the playoffs. But he hasn't been good this year.
Yeah, no, it's true.
He was good against us.
He was good against us. Yeah, that's true. So, you know what's so funny, though? And I couldn't – this is not discrediting what you said. You are completely right. He is trash this year. But you know what's so funny about Kyle Higashioka is that he is the perfect Petco Park player. Because he hits a lot of fly balls to left field that are not going out in a lot of ballparks, but at Petco Park they go out. The guy was perfect for Petco Park. But Matt, tell me, does this sound fair? Does this sound intriguing to you?
Okay.
Kyle Higashioka, and I'll tell you, this does not sound intriguing to me. This does not satisfy me. Kyle Higashioka and Adolis Garcia.
Look, here's the thing, dude. It's okay. I'll be honest. I think Adolis Garcia is another one that's like he keeps getting brought up, right?
Yep.
Once again, having a bad year. But I'll tell you something about Adolis Garcia. I want that dude up when it's clutch time.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Here's my question to you. Right now, game on the line. All right, we can do our little first take. I keep seeing this pop up. The Max Kellerman, I want Iguodala, right? You know, the classic.
I want Iguodala in the clutch.
If you have a clutch moment right now, this is not the same level, all right? So don't get too excited, guys. It's not going to be that bad. But if you have to put Sandra Bogarts or Adolis Garcia up, you're taking Adolis, right? You're
no
taking
doubt in my mind, dude. No doubt in my mind.
He's clutch, bro. He's clutch.
I couldn't agree more.
His baseball savant. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's kind of terrible. I mean, actually, maybe not here. I'll pull it up for you guys. Let's see. It wouldn't cost that much. I mean, he's not nice outfielder.
Yeah. It's not that bad. It's really not.
Look, real quick, I want to say this range isn't that good, but it's above average. That arm, throw him in left field. He's going to be the best goddamn left fielder in the league. I'll tell you that much.
You also don't need much range at Petco Park.
No.
Not in left.
And also, look, his expected OPS, you look at these numbers, and it's 800.
Still good.
Once again, the guy that's underperforming, like his metrics. This is where I don't think Preller wants him. Preller never wants these guys. Like let's just be realistic. He never wants these chase guys. But damn, dude, it's good. I want to see his splits. I want to see his runners in scoring position because I feel like he's a clutch guy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hey, 700. It's better than his numbers.
That's true.
Let's go back to the big year he had, 23. 800. And, of course, just to be fun.
Come on.
Postseason, goddamn.
Dude. Stud, man. It just
look at that. Look at that in the postseason. Oh my god.
He was stupid, bro. He was crazy. Honestly, like that's so funny that you brought up Iguodala in the clutch. That was a goated pull. That was phenomenal. No, yeah, I mean the idea of, and the reason I bring up that trade scenario is because we know AJ Preller goes to the Rangers a lot. It's not horrible. I would say it's probably better than like the dude that they were talking about from the catcher from the White Sox and Luis Robert Jr. I think that's a fair thing to say. Padres have to get creative. I think that's going to be something that's going to be a little bit of a problem. They're going to have to get kind of creative.
They are. They have to, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think trading Cease makes the most sense. But
also, that's why we included Estrada. It's not that we don't like him. It's not that we don't think he's good. It's just that we have to. We got to do something.
I got to pull that up because obviously Twitter is like, some people follow, some people don't. I thought it was crazy that people hated this. I thought I was putting it up there, and you were like, I think you said something like, yeah, this is the easiest take ever. I think you sent the trade, and you were like, I'm 100% taking this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I want to see. Because, of course, how everything goes is everyone freaks out. So here's the trade. Who says no? Padres receive Adley Rutschman. Orioles receive Cash Mayfield, Boston Bateman, Jeremiah, and Braden Nett. Right?
Mm-hmm.
50K grade prospect, 50 grade prospect, 45 grade, and a good reliever.
Mm-hmm.
For the former number 1 overall pick at the biggest position of need. And the vast majority of the comments are like, acting like it's outrageous to give this much up.
And 2 years of control, by the way.
Yeah, and 2 years of control. I think that if AJ Preller calls up the Orioles and is like, hey, here's my offer, I think they're going to be like, slam the phone down, and they're like, dude, you wanted O'Hearn? We're not talking to you anymore, all right? It's over. Yeah. I don't even think it's close to a decent offer. That's my honest thought. And I feel like that's what you thought too, right?
Mm-hmm. I felt like that was all we could give, honestly, because they just drafted 2 catchers. Yeah. So why would they want Salas? And apparently he's untouchable.
Yeah. So you don't want to trade him. It makes sense. Man, yeah, I was just very surprised. Yeah, exactly. Not enough going to the Orioles. The problem is that they just drafted 2 catchers with their first 2 picks. That is the exact problem.
Guys, that's why I included Estrada, is because what else are we gonna do?
And he has control. They need pitching. They're not going to accept it. They're not going to trade him. I would be shocked if they traded him. I would be
shocked too.
And I think that's where it comes back. And you go back to that comment by Steve, right? I think it was Steve that said like, is John Seidler gonna let AJ go and make a move? If he's gonna do that, it means they're gonna let him go and spend the budget to go get Sean Murphy.
Yes,
best guy they can get.
Mm-hmm.
Best guy they can get, dude. Sean Murphy. I'll pull up his savant too. He has some years left on him. People think he's regressing. All right, whatever. Cool. I've wanted Sean Murphy for a while. I feel like the 2 guys.
We have, dude, for so long.
I feel like, okay, tell me if I'm wrong. I think the biggest guys that we've wanted on this channel that the Padres haven't acquired are Also, we did not want Joey Gallo. We just always thought that he would eventually come here. All right.
Never.
And he's going to. He's going to come as a reliever. All right? It's not dead. Okay. He's a pitcher now. It's going to
I forgot he was pitching.
That'll be in the offseason. But I think the three biggest guys that we've wanted, and there's some other guys too, for sure. But Sean Murphy's one, Schwarber's another, and the other one that didn't work out, all right? I guess he did come, but it didn't work out, is Josh Bell. We were always huge on going.
True,
Josh
yeah,
Bell.
we were.
And that one didn't work out. But Sean Murphy is a guy that I think he's a great catcher, dude. Like this year was kind of a bad year or whatever. Also, like, look at that. Still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this dude. That's ridiculous. You don't even need that. He has an 820 OPS, and he's a different styled hitter. He hits nukes, dude. He hits
also
nukes
good at hitting both.
Who cares?
Yeah, also good at hitting both righties and lefties.
Okay.
Yeah, good at hitting both.
Yeah.
Good at hitting both. So it's like, look, he is the perfect piece. If not Adley, this guy's the perfect piece, right? I mean, it makes a lot of sense, especially, I don't think, okay, and someone in here, I forgot who it was, you brought up a phenomenal point. I loved that you brought it up. The Padres were apparently trying to trade for Rafael Devers. Do we really think the Padres are handicapped? I don't.
That means we need to go trade for Jose Ramirez, right?
Oh my God.
You talk about the clutches of Adolis Garcia, but now have a good player.
Dude. The trade that should have been, man. For those of you that don't know, it is pretty much confirmed at this point. The trade for Jose Ramirez was all but done. Jose Ramirez just wanted to stay a Guardian, so he took less money. Trade that should have been.
That crazy? Were you getting it fleeced? I don't remember. I don't remember what the deal was. Maybe it wasn't disclosed.
Yeah, I don't remember what the deal was, but I just remember that
it was a thing.
It was done. It was set in stone. They were ready, but Jose Ramirez didn't want to leave. That shit hurt.
They were including Xander in it? Is that the right?
Was it around that time?
Oh my God. That would have been awesome.
That would have been crazy. It was a Soto trade minus Wood. Okay, I would have honestly, guys, I'd rather have Jose Ramirez.
Ramirez and Wood?
Dude, exactly. That was the trade that should have been. Right. Honestly, that was the trade that should have been, and it sucks. That is someone we've pounded. I love Jose Ramirez. I, despite my absolute love and adoration for Manny Machado, I think Jose Ramirez, for as long as I can remember, I've thought he's been the best third baseman in baseball.
Well, he's terrible at fielding third base.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
No, but he's not that good at it. He's a dog at the plate. Like, yeah.
Yep. But
we got this one. JDS just asked. We already discussed a little bit. Will this be another? No. I don't think I would be very surprised. And it doesn't have to be massive. Also, like, your thought process is also like this trade deadline. Like, you don't have to go make it. I think they're always looking to make a big splash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they need to go make a big splash, really at all. Like you can go add a couple pieces. I also think that a huge advantage that the Padres have is that they don't have to go for where it's the biggest sellers market like ever, dude. They don't have to go out a starting pitcher. The Cubs have to go out a starting pitcher. The Dodgers, they might have to go out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the Padres don't have to do that. They're chilling. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean,
they're in a good spot. I think I'll also say I think they should have made some changes, especially like in left field. Sheets can DH or whatever, but like having another decent bat and also having a legitimate catcher, because we talked about it. If they had a bad catcher, not a horrendous catcher behind the plate most of the time, they'd have like 5 more wins. Like I'm serious. Like, you look at the numbers, how many times guys have came up to the plate with runners in scoring position, and you have like 5 more singles at the time. It's like, yeah, you got probably 5 more wins at that point, because of how awful they've been with runners in scoring position. So I don't know, man. I think, I don't know. I think you gotta I think you're going to see them make moves. I think AJ Plutter's been burned too many times by not going and making moves, and the bad deals this year are going to be in the pitching front.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
There's a good amount of teams that need starting pitchers. You're looking at teams like huge markets, teams that are expecting to win this year that need pitchers. I think that the league is starting to have like a vendetta against the Dodgers, and I'm hoping they charge them more. I mean, guys, there's no telling me that. Look, all the Padres sucked yesterday for the most part. Morejon has allowed 1 run over the past 2 months, and suddenly he doesn't get an out. Not a coincidence to me. Not a coincidence to me. Dave Roberts was the manager. They know that the highest odds to go to the World Series is the Dodgers. Nonetheless, the NL won. But
wait, they don't do that still.
Do they not?
No, because I know this because I think it was last year I thought they did, and they don't, which is bullshit. It's such bullshit. They 100% should. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
And also, I know that we figured out. I'm talking about the advantage in the World Series. They don't do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up right now when it changed.
Okay, fair. If they don't do it, then they just sucked, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry. But I see a comment from Mr. Matthew Villarreal saying that he doesn't trust starting rotation. I think he said in the playoffs. Am I correct? I'm not. Yeah, in the postseason. Thank you, Iron Swan. Yeah, I mean, that's my doppelganger, bro. Adrian Morejon is my doppelganger. Apparently, with the hat on, honestly, I see it.
Yeah, with the hat on.
Yeah, with the hat on.
Take it off. You don't really look like it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, going back to the starting pitching, I mean, if I were to try and make you feel better, Mr. Matthew, the Padres starting pitching has held it down despite only 2 starts from Yu Darvish, not many starts from Michael King, and even the starts from Michael King weren't great. Dylan Cease hasn't been that great. The dog, DAWG, like the ex-dog on his baseball savant, Mr. Nick Pivetta, has been holding it down. So, yeah, I mean, I have confidence in the starting pitching. I understand if you don't. But you're looking at a starting pitching front that has been good despite the problems that they've had, injury and performance problems. If Dylan Cease is with the Padres, I don't expect him to be great, but I expect him to be good. I expect him to be good from here on out. He's pitching on Friday, and I'm shitting myself thinking about it, but I do expect him to be good. Yu Darvish, will always have faith in Yu Darvish. One of my favorite pitchers of all time. I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be great. And Michael King, I think, will be great. And Nick Pavetta's already great. You're looking at a number 5 that, and dude, I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Matthew. Dylan Cease is a huge choker, and it's the main reason I don't want him anymore. But, yeah, I mean, in the postseason, I feel like I can rely on Yu Darvish. I know I can rely on Michael King. I'm a little skeptical about Nick Pivetta, but guy's been a dog. So, I mean, for right now, I trust him.
Yeah, I think you're right, dude. Also, I see. Thank you for the super chat, JDS. The Dodgers have enough to get whatever they want. Top 5 farm system. AJ needs to develop farm and stop going in everywhere. We talked about it a little bit before, but so far when he goes in, those are the good years. When he doesn't, those are the bad years. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it affects how it affects the future, that's been how it works. Yeah. I don't think they need to go all in and be crazy. Mm-hmm. I really don't. Right? Like, I don't know. That's your thought too?
I know they're going to try. I know AJ's going to try, but yes, I agree.
They're going to try to make something work, but I don't think they have the pieces. Though, I also think that the farm rankings and, like, all that stuff, like, we discussed it, but their farm's undervalued.
Yeah. It's underrated.
That's what's been reported.
Exactly. And yeah.
They have a lot of guys that are playing around the league that are good. Look at the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, look at the All-Star games. A lot of guys in other teams that were developed here, at least at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
a lot of in San Diego.
Yeah, for sure. Shoot, what was I gonna say, man? I'm fucking lost now. I want to say this real quick. I look like I'm about to record a video for the dark web. I'm honestly like, this is kind of crazy.
You were you were commenting on it earlier, right?
Dude, yeah, I was commenting on it earlier. Whoever said it, honestly valid. And okay, I was going to talk about this Dodgers thing. No, yeah, you're right. The Dodgers, they get whatever they want. They do whatever they want. It's why we all hate them so much. I fucking hate them. And they cry when things don't go their way. And every time they lose in the postseason, you got Dodgers fans talking about how things need to change, blah, blah, blah. They suck. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting offseason. What's your overall what do you want to see? If you had to pick it out, what do you want to see? I want to see if I could pick anything. Sorry, I want to trade Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
I want to add O'Hearn. All right. I want to add Sean Murphy. And maybe another platoon guy. Okay. That's it. And I'm happy with that. I think that puts you in a spot to win.
Yeah. Are you asking what I want to see at the deadline or what I want to see from at the deadline? My ideal trade deadline, as far-fetched as it may be, is Adley Rutschman, and I would say Ryan O'Hearn. Honestly, I want Ryan O'Hearn.
That's the deal. That's a deal. That could be right there.
Realistically, I think it'd be Ramon Laureano, but ideally, you upgrade, have two major upgrades right there. That's the idea. That's the ideal one, but the realistic one for me would be Sean Murphy and an outfielder from the Braves, or Sean Murphy and Ozuna.
Yeah, Ozuna's just a bad dude.
He just sucks. That's what I see. That's what I think is. And the main thing I want to see though is just get guys that are an improvement. It's not hard to find an improvement over the two bums that you have behind the plate right now. And I'm cool with Gavin Sheets in left field. If you can get a DH and just roll him out in left field, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't think that's a big problem.
Dude, that was the thing I was looking at. I was like, Ozuna, like, oh yeah, he can be perfect. Then I'm like, oh wait, that's right. Ozuna's a terrible person.
Yeah, me too, dude. I know.
Like, oh, God, I don't want this guy. Never mind. Shit.
I know, dude. I know.
And the Padres have kind of like not really.
They don't get those guys.
They don't really. That's not really their move, which is good. Yeah. I prefer that.
I love it. Yeah. No, you're right.
I see people talking about Cal Stowers. Bro, that dude has so many years of arbitration. He is not getting moved.
Nowhere.
Right? Not that out right now.
Nowhere. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, the ideal trade deadline is just improvements, especially behind the plate for sure. Maybe you get a bullpen arm to help fill some innings, take some stress off the guys that have been, the four horsemen is what they call them. Phenomenal name, by the way. So
was that Schilt?
Dude, I don't know who called him. I think it was Mike Schilt, four horsemen. That shit's hard. That shit's fire. And not that I haven't heard the name before, but like when it's on your team and like your bullpen has it's
right, bro.
Like, all right, dude, I fuck with it. Like, it's cool.
I also think that something that people don't like to talk about too much is that I think Wandy Peralta could get moved, and I think they could move Wandy Peralta and go and trade for someone else to kind of replace him, or bring someone else in, like call him up.
That's what they did with De Los Santos, right?
Yeah, but dude, like his numbers aren't that bad. I don't think he's good. But there's a lot of teams that need a lefty. Like I think that we're not recognizing like what the market dictates tells a lot. And like they could trade Wandy Peralta and like get like a decent bat, dude. Yeah, they could move him, get the prospect capital, and then move the similar prospect capital to get that, like said bat. Which would be pretty crazy. Which I think anyone that's like a Padres fan is like, you're out of your mind. But then you actually start thinking about it and you're like, wait a second. Also, we mentioned this before. The All-Star game, it changed where the World Series home field advantage. You're not gonna like this one, bro. We caught your ass in 4K. 2017. It's bad. That's a lot.
Guys, I'm a boomer, bro.
No, but I thought about it recently, and I thought the same thing because I forgot when I recognized that it wasn't, but I was like, damn, really?
That's so far. I feel like it hasn't. Wow, I don't know, guys.
I mean, that's hard. If anyone, that's AJ Preller's fault. We haven't been to the World Series, though.
Yeah, guys, don't worry. I'm never gonna show my face again. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. That guys just sucked. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, man. I mean, ideally, from here going forward, top 3 things I want to see from the Padres. I'm going to go outside of the trade deadline because I know, the main thing I want to see is a huge improvement at catcher. Not that hard, by the way. The 3 main things I want to see. Dylan Cease. I want him off our team, but if he's on our team, I want him to bounce back. I will heavily root for it. I want him to bounce back. That's number 1 for me because it helps a lot when the starting rotation is going deep into games and our bullpen doesn't have to pitch so much. Number 2, Fernando gets to 30 to 35 home runs. He does that. That means that that means he does that. We make the playoffs. Not only that, but it means he got hot. He got crazy hot. Number 3, this is a toss-up because I want to mention Jackson Merrill, but ideally Xander Bogaerts stays at this pace.
I'm not too worried about Merrill.
I'm not either. So that's why I don't want to include him because I'm like, he's going to be fine. My 3rd is Xander Bogaerts stays at this pace and stops being so shit with runners in scoring position.
Oh my God, that would be fucking awesome, bro.
You know how many more wins we'd probably have?
It's the same thing with catcher. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What is he at now? He has like a 710 OPS.
Yeah. But with runners in scoring position, it's probably in the 5s.
Oh yeah, it is. It's
it's bad.
713 OPS.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like people that aren't like. It's like, oh, Xander hasn't been that bad. It's like, oh, dude, you gotta watch the games, bro. You watch the games, you're gonna be like, why is this guy always up with 2 guys on base and then they never score?
You got to get him out of the 5 spot. I feel like that's mandatory.
I think even having him, I wouldn't even care if he let off, dude. I'll be honest.
No, I'm cool with him leading off.
Yeah. Yep. This is it. Simple solution.
And that's fine. I'd be happy with that.
And maybe we get a little greedy and we add O'Hearn in there, but that's even if we don't, that's fine.
I'd be perfectly fine with that. If you want to do that and just add some fucking dogs to your bullpen and just say, you know what, bro, like nobody's gonna hit us.
I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago because I was thinking, man, Dylan Cease is like Blake Snell. If Blake Snell wasn't good.
Yeah, guys, remember we talked about that.
Blake Snell is consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, we remember we talked about that. We said Dylan Cease is just righty Blake Snell if Blake Snell didn't have 2 Cy Youngs and was a dog in the back end.
If it wasn't like consistent of how he does, he always has the same year. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna log off here after this last statement that I'm gonna make. Those are the top 3 things I want to see from the Padres. I do think the Padres are going to make the playoffs. I know, a lot of people are kind of feeling down about it, but the Padres have a better record this year at this time than they did last year. The Padres were, I think, 50-50 after 100 games, and they somehow rattled off 43 extra wins. They were stupid. They went crazy. It doesn't have to be like that this year. They can go get 90 wins, and I think they will make it. I think they'll make it over the Giants. So yeah, you're looking at a team that needs just major improvements at catcher, but you're also looking at a team that could use either or. You can get a DH and keep Gavin Sheets in left, or you can get a left fielder and put Gavin Sheets back at DH. And I know the main idea is to get Gavin Sheets back at DH. But guys, this is a good team. Like, I really think this is a good team. Fernando's starting to come around. Jackson Merrill's going to be fine. Xander's starting to come around, hopefully for the better for the rest of this season. Manny Machado doing Manny Machado things, and I know we haven't been above 500 since April. They haven't, I get that, but a lot of that is because you've had massive slumps from 2 or 3 guys in your lineup that you can't afford to have slumps from. Good thing they got it out now. I think they're going to get hot. I think, and we all know Mike Schilt is a better manager. His teams typically have better records in the second half, so I'm excited for this next half of the season. I didn't say Xander has been good, but he has been good lately.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
Huge difference. If you saw my tweets about Xander, you would see I hate the guy. I do not like the guy. My bangers have been about Xander Bogaerts, so that goes to show you, I'm not a huge Xander
Dude,
fan, but
that
I'm hoping.
Dodgers series, we tweeted like about Xander Bogaerts like 50 times.
Those were bangers, bro. Nothing but bangers. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll be okay, guys. I really do think we're gonna make the playoffs. I really do think we're gonna get back to that Dodger series. It's cinema, man. Those series are cinema, and I'm very excited to see. Also, the Padres have one of the easiest schedules from here on out, so like the Padres should be all in. The Padres should be trying to win, and the Giants have
a super tough one recently.
dude. This past June sucked. June was super tough. But yeah, I guess it's easier from here on out. So make some moves, get some guys healthy, Michael King specifically. And the Padres are going to be good, man. But with that being said, that's going to be my final thing. I loved talking to you guys. That was so much fun. I missed it.
It's a long stream, bro.
Long stream. That
takes like 30 to 40 minutes.
No, yeah, no. That just goes to show you how much we miss this stuff, man. It's a lot of fun, especially around this time in July. We always look forward to July whenever it comes to Friar Talk. We always look forward to July, and if they get to October, we look forward to October as well. So, yeah, I'm very happy I got to talk to you guys. So, talk to you guys later, though. Thank you, I appreciate it, Matt.
That's me.
I'll chat with you, man. Oh, all right.
Later, Isaac. All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on. We'll talk to y'all soon. I don't know when that'll be, but we'll catch up with all the deadlines.